Alright, let's dive into some of the biggest moves shaking up the sports and entertainment world right now. And trust me, there's a lot to unpack here, from streaming wars to golf controversies and everything in between. So, buckle up. First up, Disney Plus is doubling down on live sports, and personally, I think this is a genius move. They're adding more college football simulcasts this fall, which, on the surface, might seem like just another programming decision. But if you take a step back and think about it, this is Disney playing the long game. What many people don't realize is that live sports aren't just about viewership, they're about creating an ecosystem. Disney CEO Josh D'Amaro hit the nail on the head when he called it a fan engagement and ecosystem play. Here's why this matters. When fans engage with Disney Plus for sports, they're more likely to stick around for other content, and maybe even upgrade to that Hulu and ESPN Plus bundle. It's not just about the games, it's about locking in subscribers for the long haul. And let's be real, in a crowded streaming market, that's a smart play. Now, let's shift gears to LIV Golf. The league just secured new funding to keep things running through 2030, and honestly, this is fascinating for a few reasons. One thing that immediately stands out is the mystery around the lead investor. We don't know who it is, but the fact that players will become majority equity holders is huge. This raises a deeper question: could this model, players owning a stake in the league, be the future of sports? It's a radical idea, and one that could shake up traditional power dynamics. But here's the thing, LIV Golf has always been about disruption. From its Saudi-backed origins to its massive player contracts, it's challenged the status quo. Now, with this new funding, it's not just surviving, it's positioning itself as a long-term player. What this really suggests is that the golf world might be more divided than ever, with LIV and the PGA Tour vying for dominance. Speaking of sports broadcasting, ESPN just announced a bunch of changes to its college football teams, and while it might seem like standard shuffling, there's more here than meets the eye. For instance, Mike Monaco taking over Friday night games is a big deal. Why? Because Friday nights are a tough slot. You're competing with high school games, local events, and let's be honest, people's weekend plans. But ESPN is clearly betting on Monaco to bring energy and draw viewers. What makes this really interesting is how these changes reflect ESPN's broader strategy. They're not just assigning names to slots, they're building teams that can connect with audiences in a way that feels fresh and relevant. In my opinion, this is ESPN doubling down on personality-driven content, which is crucial in an era where fans have endless options. Now, let's talk about something a bit more somber but equally important: Dick Vitale's health update. The legendary college basketball analyst shared that his immunotherapy treatments are working, and honestly, this is the kind of news that puts everything else in perspective. Vitale's battle with cancer, his fifth, by the way, reminds us that behind every broadcast, every analysis, there's a human story. What many people don't realize is how much Vitale's energy and passion have shaped the way we talk about college basketball. His updates aren't just about his health, they're about resilience, and about the impact one person can have on an entire sport. Personally, I think this is a moment to celebrate, not just his progress, but his legacy. Lastly, let's touch on the USC Notre Dame rivalry. The fact that it's resuming in 2030 might seem like a distant concern, but here's why it matters. This is one of college football's most iconic matchups, with a history dating back to 1926. The fact that it's been on hold is a reminder of how fragile these traditions can be. What this really suggests is that even in the high-stakes world of college sports, rivalries matter, not just for fans, but for the identity of the programs themselves. And the fact that Netflix tried to snag the rights? That's a detail I find fascinating. It shows how streaming platforms are increasingly willing to bid on live sports, which could upend traditional broadcasting models. So, what's the big takeaway here? If you ask me, it's this: the lines between sports, entertainment, and technology are blurring faster than ever. Disney Plus is leveraging sports to build an ecosystem, LIV Golf is redefining ownership, ESPN is reinventing broadcasting, and even rivalries like USC Notre Dame are becoming battlegrounds for streaming giants. The question is, where does this all lead? Personally, I think we're just scratching the surface of how these worlds will collide. And honestly, I can't wait to see what happens next. What about you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.